Thank you very much for the opportunity. Is the sound okay? Is everything working well? Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present the program, to our program that we did in Belgium regarding referees. I just made a very short presentation for that, just to give you an idea on what the options are and what we could do with referees for, let's say, a very different group of people. Most people are always looking around for players. Referees obviously have their own challenges, and as we got through those challenges, I'd like to present this quickly to you. First, maybe quickly about myself. I'm 41 years involved into the ice hockey. I'm a former goalie for our national Premier Division, and I'm also former IHF and national referee and linesman. I currently working as a coach, as a referee coach and a referee mentor in Belgium. So on the presentation is very much focused on our entry level of the referees, of a referee development, our referee development program. And I would like to just provide you an insight into our renewed development model, into the changes that we did, the challenges that we had, and most importantly, of course, the successes that this program had in the past 4 years. Where do we came from? I was asked 6 years ago to take over the management of the referee program after a couple of years that there was not really a lot done. Having problems that most countries have today, aging referee group, not really any succession planning in place, no clear level structure or ranking of referees, non-existing to a poor existing certification process, and most of the youth games were officialed by club referees, not always certified. Basically, no guidance or career planning for our referees, and most importantly, there was not really a recruitment plan in place. So this was 6 years ago. This is the start where I started off with. Thank God, luckily enough, I was able to go to the IHF clinic in the summer of 2015. I was able to go to the IHF administration program in Viramaku, where I actually had the time. I had to sit down 5 days and think about the foundation on how to fix the problem, to create a short-term plan and come up with a long-term plan on how to fix the problem that we had. At that moment, I made the important decision not to make our good officials better, but actually focus on building a stronger base and creating more officials, seek for more potential, provide career opportunities, and so on. So my focus actually was in expanding our base, rolling out a promotion and a recruitment program, because that was really important. Keep people involved by providing them career opportunity for all officials, and all officials I meant at every level. So make sure that everyone was able to see that there was something available for them to keep them engaged. And of course, start an official development program, an RDP program, so a program that actually would roll out our courses and make things more official. It was all good. It was a great idea, the IHF idea, but unfortunately, due to the IHF funding restrictions, our proposed referee development program got actually replaced by an alternative, a bench official program. So there was a bummer. On the other side, we knew what we needed. We had a clear plan forwards, and there was a vision on paper with milestones. So we just decided to move forward with it and execute the plan anyway. Unfortunately, without funding, but with the support of a group of newly recruited people and highly motivated instructors, we just were determined to kick this process in motion and just see what we got out of it. In order to start, it was very important to create a visual structure of how our referees work in our country. First of all, we have club and we have federation. So we have referees that sit with the club, we call them club referees, and referees that sit with the national federation, which are federation referees. In order to make very clear separation of different levels, we needed to create a couple of levels, and we needed to put them onto a certain level of playing field as well. So for example, our level 1, we determined was only cross ice, U8, U10. Level 2 would be U12 and U14 and some recreational teams. As a referee, both times would be level 1 and 2 in two-man system. As a level 2B, you see the light blue is club and the dark color becomes federation. Here we start our crossover. So we allow people also to go as linesmen, club referees, as linesmen into U16, but we start then to bring in national federation referees. Level 3 is our real bottom federation level. Level 4 is where the bulk of all the referees are. So our step in is level 3 of federation refs, and our main group of referees is actually the level 4, and they take care of pretty much, these are our linesmen and referees for U16 up until our Premier Division games. And then for a couple individuals, we also generated a level 5, and this is the level that has the opportunity to do IHF licenses and do IHF games. So once we had a good structure, we could now slowly but surely start to think on how to roll this program out. In order to do so, promoting the position was really important. We introduced the third team. It might be a very easy and normal term, but the third team, that's pretty much what it was. It is switching the mindset of the hockey family that we have not 2, but 3 teams on the ice, and also exploring new ways into showing people that being in a team of a referee can be actually quite positive and quite attractive. It has lots of opportunities. There is lots of possibilities that you can do as you are a referee. So that was promoting the position. How do we start with that? In 2016, we created a couple of social media accounts under the RDP, so the Referee Development Program, basically Facebook, Twitter, these just the basic accounts to provide some information to the world, at least open the gate. 2017, we created some flyers because this is the year that we also started our courses. So in 2017, with the flyers, we were promoting our certification program, and we started to post referee stories on the RBIHF homepage. So once in a while, not only player information, but also referee information became visible, meaning that we wanted to create visibility. We wanted to make sure to people that we were also there. And then in 2019, we started also creating short promotion movies, short promo clips that we would also distribute through social media, pretty much just, again, to show people the inside of the dressing room, how fun it is, what we do when we do outside dry land, when we're in courses, but also when we do games, on the excitement that referees also have. We also introduced in 2019 open practical sessions. These were sessions for club referees where they could join, and we would then instruct them on the ice with obviously certified and our top referees would then be involved. Starting the program was also a little bit of a challenge because at the time that I started, I needed referees. We only had an aging referee corps, and we really needed referees. So it had to be easy to enter our ranks. How did we do that? In 2016, I actually opened 2 levels, level 1 and level 2, and we introduced these levels with courses. We actually made sure that people would come into our group as a level 1 and a level 2. This was quite successful. And actually, due to the promotion and the success that we had with level 1 and level 2, we started to get questions from ex-players. Can we join? We'd like to join, but we do not want to start at level 1, or maybe you need me already in a higher division. And this is in 2017 when we created a fast track option. And this is an option only for ex-players. So if you're an ex-senior player, you want to say goodbye to your first team, but you don't really want to say goodbye to the sport. In that case, some people like that, very experienced players, are actually sometimes very, very good referees. So fast track option is how we bring them in directly as a level 3 and work them in a very short time with a lot of coaching done at the moment. We actually work them straight up. So fast track program we initially made for our ex-players. We then saw that within our level 1 and level 2, we actually also had some quite young, talented referees, usually ex-players, ex-junior players, that did not make it high enough to actually go to the more professional teams. So this is where we, in 2019, created a Referee for Tomorrow project. This is actually a program where our young, talented, so it's only for young, talented players, ex-players, and they are selected because we cannot take care of a large number. So we only pick several once a year, and they go with a mentor, with a very high performance program. They are trained, and they are obviously very closely kept with the senior group, so that these are the perfect guys to actually go into the later into a career change almost, and they go straight into the refereeing, but as a young official. This is what we did, but the biggest problem is referees do not grow on trees. You cannot just pull them off the street. Unfortunately, we all fish in the same pond, and it means we need to go to the clubs to find referees in most cases. So it was very important to find a good understanding with the clubs, with all the individual clubs, to show them that actually, if we have you want to bring members in, you want, of course, to create members and players. You want to show out that you can do that as a federation, as an organization. But when players are not good enough to finally make it through, maybe you can help us with those skaters, and we can together work for a referee for our referee group to actually expand that. So what we did is we introduced in 2016 immediately a club referee manager's position, which was technically we obligated to all the clubs. So all the clubs needed a club referee manager. And this was just a position where we tried to connect with the club on a very easy level. We could talk to the club. We didn't have to talk to all the individual referees because that was up to the club referee manager. So we as a federation talk to the club referee managers, and then the club referee managers, they get support from us, but they take actually their action. In 2017, we started to teach at club level our first certification courses. So we didn't do it centrally in the country. We actually went down to the clubs, and when clubs had enough people to follow the course, we actually taught the course at the location, which brought us more applicants, because it was easier for people to get and follow a course. In 2018, we were ready, and we actually enforced certified referees, level 1 and level 2, to officiate all our youth games. So actually, only 3 years into our program, we changed the whole mindset, and we had more than enough referees to cover all our youth games. We introduced in 2018 as well coaching. Federation referee coaches would come to the club, and they will do on ice, either off ice coaching. We use a communication set where we can communicate directly with referees live, and we have seen we use them actually only in one direction. The referees in themselves don't have to talk to us, but we coach them in position and what they do and how they, and in procedures and stuff. So worked really, really good. So in 2018, we also introduced that. And then in 2019, as mentioned before, we kicked off the Referee for Tomorrow program, which is concentrated at the club level as well. So all this brought actually a lot of success and went really, really well. Now, the next chapter, because this is where we were, well, are and were, because at the same time, we have to develop ourselves, and you're never done. We have to see what can we do better, where did we still have problems, and how could we make things easier. One of our problems was the success. We had a lot of success. We had a lot of people joining our group. Now we needed to find new ways to teach, and to teach even more as what we ever did before. Therefore, we introduced an e-learning platform, which would start to do a little bit of blended learning, and an e-learning platform where we put all our referee courses on. So these referee courses will have clips, it will have presentations and so on. We actually created that and made sure that people had access to that. Combining home learning, once we had the e-platform available, it's important to, we actually spread out a little bit our courses, or the way how we did the courses. And now we came up with 3 individual, clear, defined parts. It changes a little bit from level to level, but in general, we have 3 individual parts for every course today. First, there is the home learning, and the home learning is just what the e-platform does. It provides more material than before, but students can learn at home in their free time, and they can do it at their own pace. Additionally, we still have classroom sessions, but less classroom sessions than before, which frees up our instructors. It lowers the cost to organize classroom sessions, but we still have this contact with the student. So classroom sessions are not done, they're just minimized. And then thirdly, we also introduced our on-ice practical procedures and lessons. This is also where we do the final certification of referees. Is not only in the classroom, but it's also on ice. Doesn't mean that you know the rules. You have to also be able to manage a game. You have to do a little bit more than that. So this is where we are today. This is actually how we developed our courses into the system, like I showed there. On top of that, referees, I say it's a third team. So there is also other teams out there on the ice, and they also require information. The more information they have, the easier it becomes for the referees to deal with the game, but also the better the game progresses. So what we did there is we introduced for e-learning also for parents. parents U8, U10, U12, and players U14. With parents, we have e-learning, where we teach the parents the development of hockey rules. What are the rules? What are the guidelines? What do we see as normal? What do we not see as normal? What is respect? How do we treat this? This we have seen, this helped us tremendous, because this reduced the complaints to the officials. And bear in mind, these are all starting officials, so they don't need a lot of complaining before they drop out. By reducing the complaints, we also reduced the dropout of young referees. At the same time, we also introduced e-learning to our U14 players, or at least just before they enter, when they move from development to competition age. We actually allow them to follow an online, to get an online certificate, where they have to run through an online course, which actually teaches them the basic hockey rules. Once again, just that they know what kind of a penalty it is, what kind of consequence a penalty has, that they understand that we play now full ice, that we play with icing, offsides, and so on. So this is all done by an e-learning platform without any interaction of any instructors. And that's actually again, it frees up our instructors, but on the other hand, we can see that all the people do it, because we have a track and trace record on that. And we are obviously also able to change things whenever we need to change things. It's immediately changed on all the programs. So it's not like you print the book and then you have to reprint the book. Where are we today? And it's always nice to say if things are going good, obviously. We're not finished. And maybe it's only a start where we are today, but the status we have today is way better than we could ever imagine. We are growing numbers, is 300% increased on our new referee candidates since the start of this program 5-6 years ago. We even had to stop recruitment for referees. We actually didn't really stop. We increased the minimum requirements. So the new recruits that come in right now are already from a higher level to start with, which is obviously very, very good. So every club now has certified referees, level 1 and level 2. 99% of all youth games today are officiated by certified officials, and this increases tremendously the quality of the game. So that was a very, very good move. We increased the minimum requirements to limit new officials, just in order to make sure that we could cope with the numbers. For the first time in years, several new young officials joined our level 3, 4, and 5. So actually what I wanted to do is grow the base and push new guys into our older group of of top referees. Now we get lots of young people coming in there, which is really good. It increased also the interest of ex-players to join our program. And due to the success of the RDP program, the growing number of officials, of course, we're now able to put more officials into our youth games, professional, well, our top officials, meaning that we also do 3-man system now already as of U16, and we might even be able to lower that as we are in need of more games, because we have so many officials now, we need actually more games. On our national officials, obviously that had an impact. The impact there is that we have a positive vibe with our national officials, because they see the group is bigger, there is more attention, everyone likes it a little bit better. They're all exciting because they all have personal career plans. There is more competitive approach with the young officials, which is good. The older guys need to crank their game up to do better as they see the young guys are coming on. We have more challenging competition games as we work now together with other countries, which actually increases the level already there. And the cross-border, like I say, I have right now some of my top officials, I allowed them also to work in the the second league in Germany and the top league in Denmark. So as a result of getting new officials in, I was able to get my top officials to actually pump them even higher, so that they are now working games in some countries, A-pool countries, as we are obviously not. So to fine-tune the program and increase the quality of the program, we obviously always look out for new opportunities, for new people to work with. You can never stop learning, and I think that's for us one of the most important things that I at least learned from this. Success is possible, but never stop. Keep thinking. There is always something new across the horizon. We're also very happy, as we would like to learn from other programs. We're also very happy to learn from other programs and to work together with other people, to share our information and ideas, to share our methods, share our best practices, and obviously also the successes, although I said these already here. But there are still so many things to explore, lots of new ways of teaching, lots of new ways of presenting, and adapting. And this is, I think, the most important thing, adapting to an ever-changing digital world, especially now with the pandemic. We have seen that the digitalization of not only the sports, but also the teaching and the meetings became so different. I don't think we went in the right way, but I think a combination of the two is most probably the right way forwards. That concludes the presentation. Still have a couple of minutes, 2 minutes left, I think, for some questions, if there is some questions.
Уважаемые коллеги, пожалуйста, прошу задавать вопросы.
Марк, у меня пару вопросов к вам. Подскажите, пожалуйста, какое количество в Бельгии, общее количество матчей детско-юношеских соревнований в возрасте от 8 до 16 лет, какое количество сертифицированных судей обслуживают на первых двух уровнях матчей детско-юношеских соревнований, и каким образом осуществляется мониторинг работы судей на данных соревнованиях? Спасибо.
Mark, we have some questions. The first question is, how many games per season do you have in the age group from 6 till 16 years?
We have actually an average of our youth referees do an average of about 1 to 2, in some cases 3 games in a weekend. So, but it's not only U16, of course. So for club referees, I would say 1 in the weekend for every club. Maybe 2 or 3, depends on the size of the clubs. There is clubs with only 1, there is clubs with 3. On a yearly base, you're looking at about 30 to 40 games that the youth referee will do.
Question number 2, how many certified referees do you have working on level 1 and level 2?
Level 1 in total right now, we are a small country, of course. We came from 0. At the moment, I'm sitting at 165 referees between level 1 and level 2. Most of them are still level 1, so we will roughly, it's going to be about 80 right now that we are in level 1. The rest is level 2. But like I say, I mean, there's only a number of games that we can do, and right now we need to limit our intake, just because there's not enough games to referee, and when referees are not able to do enough games, they obviously cannot learn and cannot get any better.
And question number 3, how do you monitor the quality of work of your referees?
We have referee coaches, so our referee coaches will go down to the games. We check obviously there. These are spot checks. We do not tell them when we come. We do have a system where we have all the referees in, so we know which game which referee is doing. So centrally, we will make sure that we see every referee at least once or twice a year. So we kind of plan it that we go to a club and we can then see 2 or 3 referees at a time because there's 1 or 2 games in a row. This is how we try to monitor our referees.
Спасибо большое. Еще вопросы?
We have 2 more questions. The first one is, what is the minimum age for the referees to start working, and what are the criteria you use to promote the referees higher?
The criteria that we started with is they need to be 2 years older than so they have to be from the next age group in order to referee. So you cannot referee your own age group. So a U14 can do U10. So you actually skip 1 age group. So a U16 can do U12 and so on. So that is the minimum requirements that we have in place for. The requirements are quite simple. They need to assign, well, they need to apply for a course, then they follow a course, and then basically on either they pass, they need to be able to skate, of course, because we also have practical sessions. So you only get your certification if you do good in your practical, but also in your theoretical.
И еще один вопрос, если можно, последний. Существует ли система тестирования физической подготовленности судей?
And the last question, do you have any system implemented in Belgian Ice Hockey Association where you can test the physical performance of your referees?
Physical performance, no. We do have a system in place. We created our own system, an online system where we actually assign referees, but we also keep track of all the supervision reports. Also there we keep a track of all their ice testing reports and their theoretical results. So we have pretty much from every referee a file. And based on that, and that's a development that we're doing right now, we kind of rank everything. We put numbers to it, let's say, and then we allow the computer to provide us some ranking based on the results. But these are all results, so not only game results, but also how they perform outside of the games.